What's going on, man? What's going on? What's good, y'all? What is good? What's going on, y'all? You already know I had to go live for the Friday, man. What's going on? What is good, y'all? What's going on? What is good, y'all? What's going on out there, man? In the real streets and the YouTube streets. What's really good? What is really, really good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, though, y'all? Was really good. What is going on, man? Y'all know we out here in these we in the woods today. What's going on with y'all, man? We in the woods, man. Y'all see me, man? I had to bring my chair out to the woods, man. Y'all know. But what's good though? What is going on with y'all? Snowman, y'all. It's actually not right though. The heck? That's crazy. What's good, y'all, man? What's going on? What is good today, man? Happy Friday, y'all. What is really good? What's good with y'all, man? Boy, happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. It's crazy. Must be one of them days, y'all. Must be one of them days. What y'all up to, man? Mm. What's good, y'all? I ain't got nothing. Waiting for y'all to fill in. We even gonna fill in today. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Mac could die. What's good, fam? What's good, Mac? Man, you already know, man. What's good with you? Matt, I was in your live earlier. What happened? It seemed like it was going, and then it just stopped. But I was in that thing earlier though, just grinding, staying at it, staying hungry. I know you, Mac. The Mac motto. You know what I'm saying? The Mac motto. No question. You already know how you give it up. Man, I earlier I had it popping. I had my homeboy over here, man. He a DJ. And I had like a Zoom live going. It was crazy. Got you. Okay. Oh no, it's all good. It was all good. I was just in there being silly. You know how I do. I was in there, keeping the convo going. Y'all talking about the booty end of the bread when it's in the front. Y'all silly for that. Y'all silly, man. That's funny though. That was funny. But I used that actually. I used that piece. I used that piece for grilled cheeses. All of the all I use that piece. You know what I'm saying? I do actually wait till both of them pieces is touching, and then I might make something out of both them Johnnies. You know, but that's just me. But yeah, man. I don't know why it's the booty, and I don't know why it got to be the booty though. But But yeah, man. So you got that camera too, Matt. I see that. Yeah. So you have to be about to be out there like Colo and all of that, huh? Doing the most. Doing the most. Yeah, man. You see, I'm out here in the woods today. I'm out here in the woods, man. I decided to take a hike and then I got lost. So now I just sat my chair down. Now I'm doing a live with y'all, man. Mm, yeah, I feel you on that. Them cameras, they do be a mess, but I can tell you that, obviously the best thing is going to be experience, just fiddling with it. But we both know that YouTube will get you right. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's a few people who got that jump, be able to get you right on a few of the buttons, you know. But that's dope though. Whenever you get a camera like that, and trust me, I know because I know Colo, I know him for years. Whenever you get that camera like that, you know what I'm saying? You on your way to content creating. I'll tell you that. I mean, especially if you already been without you know what I'm saying, a dedicated camera to it. Now you're really finna be on it. So man, shouts out to you, Matt. You on your way. I already see you on your way. Uh, that's dope, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Did that commercial put a battery in your back in any way? Like them picking it was I mean it wasn't like you had to audition and go out there and do all that, but you were still in it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you didn't have to do any audition and they just picked your piece, let you know you was already made for the part. But you did that put a battery in your back to want to do like more like more like did that solidify you going out and getting the camera and all of that? Did that like do that? Okay. All right. Man, you don't need no motorcycle right now, boy. You don't need no motorcycle right now unless you're gonna take pictures of it. You already living it up like Case and Ja Rule. So I'm already living it up. You know what I'm saying? You already living it up with the vet, boy. But yeah, I was wondering like if that them featuring you in that movie, like you know what I'm saying, put the battery in your back as far as more content creating. You know what I'm saying, just putting more videos out because I mean, like if there's one thing that will solidify whether you going in the right direction, whether you doing the right thing or not, if there's one thing that will solidify that is basically the owners, because I think Google does own YouTube. So it's like nothing better than the owners of where you putting your content out, nothing better than them reaching out to you and linking up. You know what I'm saying? That if you was ever wondering like, man, am I on the right platform to be doing what I need to be doing? If the owners notice you and hit you up, you on the right platform to be doing what you're doing. All right, shout out to you. But that's dope, boy. I'm working on a short film this weekend. Oh yeah, dope. All right. See, and I mean, you already know you be doing all that stuff. All you doing is putting the battery in my back. So you know what I'm saying? Go on, make that short story. You know what I'm saying? Go on, make that short film. Cause I was just talking to Colo, like, man, I was telling him like with your camera skills, man, I'll hop into my acting bag real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'll get serious on y'all real quick, but I start, you know what I'm saying? Start throwing punches at the air like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Cuba Gooding Jr. out this bad boy, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me started. You know what I'm saying? Be out here looking like Cuba and Boys in the Hood. Boy. Yeah, Colo killing it. Colo killing it. And I'm just like, I just want to hop in on his video expertise. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to hop in and hop in my acting bag. I'll do it under his lighting and camera angles. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we can mess around and create something out this ting out here. You know? But yeah, he killing it with them with the shoe vids and all of the stuff. That's why. But I already know we could make a little filmy film real quick once you get into that. But yeah, man, you creating a short film about the city or what? Matter of fact, speaking of the city, Macadai, I was just heard about something about Oklahoma City. I'm trying to think about what I heard about. Y'all was in the news recently. You know what it is, Macadai? I don't even think it's hard to stay creative. Because for people like us, like you got a million ideas. It's not hard to stay creative. I think it's just hard to want to do the creativity. Like I'll be like have a million ideas in my head, but I just be like, nah, man, I just don't. You know what? I just don't want to do it. But then there'll be sometimes when I'll be super motivated, and then I just be doing the things I be thinking about. Like I feel like we always creative. Like we always got something in the bag. It's just whether or not you want to record it or not. You know what I mean? It's like whether or not you actually want to shoot that thing or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we always got a million in the tuck. Like I got a few in the tuck. It's just like I just don't feel like shooting it. That's my only thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like, so I guess that is the creativity, but I just feel like the creativity is there. It's just more of the pursuing of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I've been watching a lot of stuff and I've been hearing like a lot of stuff which could literally uh translate as the voice in my head because I've been hearing stuff out loud actually, and it just keeps talking about the process. It's like every time I get stagnant like this, it'd be like, man, just rely on the process, and like you got to fall in love with the process, and like it's the pressure that makes the diamonds. It ain't like the chilling out that makes diamonds and makes the makes things worth something. It's the pressure. It's the, you know what I'm saying? It's the work. It's the hard time. It's that go time. It's that time when you motivated and you making it happen. Like that's the actual time that's going, which is obvious, but that's the time that's going to reap the benefits. You know what I'm saying? And it's just tough though, because, you know, you be getting in your groove, and then you like, all right, now I'm kind of losing traction and all of that. I'm losing traction, which, you know, you saying you needed to hear that, but I kind of like speaking to myself right now. Like maybe we both need to hear it, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's that piece. Cause it's like, I feel like every time I hop into that creative space and I'm making the moves and like, I'm looking at my co-host and I'm telling them like, yo, it's you know what I'm saying? We just got to keep creating. We just got to keep creating. Like, yeah, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? But we just got to keep going through with it. Every time we go through with it, you know what I mean? And then you like, you really happy, like you feel accomplished once you push that thing through. You know what I mean? Especially in these YouTube streets, it's like you feel accomplished when you're able to push that video through and you finally like drop it and it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then, you know, then it's that point though. You get to that point, that point where you like, I done it. I done dropped some things. Like I done made it for a month. You know what I'm saying? I done made it for at least a week. For at least a week, I'm the man. Like I done got my content out. I'm Gucci. I got people already viewing it. Like I'm the man for at least a week. But then a week turned into 9 days. You know what I mean? And then 9 days turn into 11 days real quick on you. And then you like, man, I don't even really feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really even feel like, but at the end of the deal, it's like, man, we in these YouTube streets for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to Colo about like the movie called Cool World. And I'll be thinking about how YouTube streets and the real world is kind of like Cool World. And it's like, man, you could live in these YouTube streets and get it popping, but it's like it's hard to be like a lot of these cartoons. You know what I mean? Like in these YouTube streets, there's a lot of cartoon characters in these YouTube streets, and it's hard to be like them when you really are making it in the real world. Like when you really don't, when you know how to, you know what I'm saying, get it popping in the real world, it's hard to really transition to the cool world like that. You know what I mean? Because like YouTube is like the cool world. And it's like, you know what I mean? When you already popping in the real world, it's like, all right, how do I stay grounded in the cool world? Like now you got to stay grounded in that world. And in the YouTube streets, it's about content creating. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then I'll be looking at YouTube. It's like, you know what I mean? How important is that really? But then it's like, you gotta, like, it's important to create as many streams of income as you can, you know, especially in these days and times, you know what I mean? And what we're dealing with right now, it's important to be able to, not just YouTube, but, you know, if you could create a stream of income through YouTube, it's important to, you know what I'm saying, manifest that. And like, so when you be looking at YouTube, like how serious is it? And then you like, I don't need this. Then again, this is just me talking to myself. It's like, but at the same instance, it's an income stream that really all it takes is this. Like it don't, as long as you could, you know what I'm saying, go into your mind and pull out something, record it, throw it out. Pull out something, record it, throw it out. Grab something you could grab something out the crib that people will, you know what I'm saying? You just got to get creative in your creative bag. And like I said, it's almost like you don't even got to get in your creative bag because you already got it. You already know 5 videos you could make, but it's just like you just got to get into your non-lazy bag, like whatever that is, like that. You know what I mean? You just got to push. But I feel like for me, it's just I just got to keep telling myself like what I was just saying, like you trying to create diamonds, like you not just trying to not do nothing at this point. It's like you trying to do something. And I feel like sometimes when I create these videos or when I go live, it's just like, you know what I mean? I'm just having fun with y'all. Like I'm having fun, but at the same time, every time I go back to my viewed hours, it's like, you know what I'm saying? I got 1,000 of them, but it's just like, if you don't do this, you ain't gonna have none of them. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to keep it popping. And when you say I've been 1 foot in, 1 foot out, we just got to go full force. Yeah, man. And you know what's deep about that, Matt? Nip, I actually go back to this weird thing that happened to me. It was I'll say about a month ago, and maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, right? What happened? I'll tell a quick story. So what? Oh, I'll tell you. I'll remember now. Joyner Lucas, he has the video, and it's a Will Smith video. And he's like, you know what I mean? He's going in a Joyner Lucas video called Will. He's like going through all of these like Will Smith movies and all of this. It's real, like, it's tight. It's tight, right? So I'm like, dang, Joyner, okay, I actually look at you different now after this. But at the end of that video, right? At the end of that Joyner Lucas video, is Will Smith is talking, right? He's talking, he says something, he says a phrase, right? He's saying some things. Now, I heard that and I'm like, yo, that's what I needed. That was my battery. That was actually the charge to my battery. Yo, I needed that phrase. Thank you, Will Smith. I appreciate you for that, right? And then like it had just so happened that like the next day I woke up and my co-host, Brooklyn, he had sent me like something over to social media, and it was a recording. It just so happened to be the 1 year anniversary of Nip passing, right? And when Nip was in an interview and he was talking about, you know, and it was like an old one of these obscure interviews, and he was breaking down like basically he said the same exact thing that Will Smith had said when I had just the day before, like within hours of one another, I heard Nip say the same thing that Will Smith said. That had inspired me. And I'm like, yo, that was kind of, yo, Will, big up to you. Big up to Joyner Lucas. Yo, I appreciate y'all for that video. Yo, that was dope. Like I got a full charged battery. And then I woke up and Nip said the same thing. And what he was saying, what Will Smith and both Nip was saying, they was like, you don't gotta build a perfect wall. You don't gotta know how to build that perfect wall. And I know you probably didn't already heard this, Matt, but they were saying you ain't gotta know how to build the perfect wall. What you do is you lay one brick as perfectly as you can. You lay that one brick as perfectly as you can. And then you take another brick and you lay another brick right next to the other brick as perfectly as you can. And you don't try to build a wall. You just try to lay bricks as perfectly as you can right next to one another and pile them up. And one day you'll have a perfect wall. And one day you will have a perfect wall. Man, I was like, yo, all right. Now I got 2 double A's in the back. Now, like, yo, Nip, man. Just when I was about to tap out, and I already told you about that Nip energy because Ermia's been kind of coming to me every now and again on some realness. Like every time I'll be just about to be like, man, you know what, man, I'm trying to figure out how to get creative. I need to like really put that battery in my own back and really try to get to it. Like for some reason, like I told you, Nip always come out from somewhere. He always come out from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And Nip would be like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you believe in that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? What's even funnier, Mac, I might be going in right now, but it's only me and you.
And it maybe me and you was the only ones who needed to hear this right now, because I feel like I've been kind of slacking, but it's like just what I've been dealing with, you know what I'm saying? But it's like every time I go through a bit of a stint, or I feel like I ain't gonna be able to produce, then all of a sudden I just hear some nip, you know what I'm saying? I might be watching something on YouTube and then that just finished and I don't even know it's on autoplay, and I'm just looking at my fingers like, all right, how am I gonna do this? And then nip come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, okay, Nip, you right. You right. Back in this bitch like I never left. Like, all right, yeah, okay, Nip. Yeah, you right. Damn. Shit, you right, Nip. Damn, you right, man. Shit. And I just got to shake it off, which is weird. And that just may just be me, but it's just like that energy, I'm into it. I believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Rest in power to Armias. You know what I'm saying? But it feel like every time I be feeling that type of way, I just get that battery in my back, and then I start to, you know what I'm saying? Which is maybe even right now. Yo, Brian, shout out to you, fam. Blessings. Peace, man. I appreciate you joining. It just feel like, you know what I'm saying? Plus, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, which is even funnier because I've been hearing a lot of different things about just looking at being in these YouTube streets, being in Cool World. See, I might have to make a video about that. Y'all heard it from me first. Cool World. YouTube, them YouTube streets can literally be translated into Cool World. But like, just you know what I'm saying, going in through them YouTube streets, I literally been seeing a lot of information about ancestor worship, or just like, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, just shouting out your ancestors and all of that. Just really like I've been seeing some things where they be talking about death. Obviously, it's just a journey, and then when you die, like a lot of us, just because what we've been programmed to do, we kind of like almost just cut off our ancestors after the funeral. It's like, all right, you gone, and you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. We love you. But it's just like, yeah, Brian, it was. That's what I'm even talking about. That movie. That's how I'm translating like the YouTube streets and the real world, because the YouTube streets is kind of like Cool World, how it pertains, like just how it's been animated. But what I was talking about is like after a funeral, it's just like, all right, your ancestors, you know what I'm saying? If you bury your parents, you bury somebody, you now they gone. You know what I'm saying? They gone. You can't even tap into that energy. You can't reach out to them no more. You just got to let them go. But obviously, like back in the day, Egyptians and like all of the different, you know what I'm saying, old teachings, they just talk about like, you know what I'm saying, once you dead, you ain't gone. Like you still right here. You like your energy is still right here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? If you like reach out to them, if you decide you want to like, you know what I'm saying, maybe make an altar to them, or if you want to do something where at least you acknowledge that they are still available for you, then you could still get some of that energy. You could still get some of that information from them. Although, like you said, although they are sleeping, although they are not necessarily in this realm anymore, as long as you don't forget them, as long as you keep them, you know what I'm saying, keep them most available, you actually could get some energy from them. Still, that same energy that you used to get, you know what I mean? Grandmoms back in the day might make you lunch or something, or she might just make you feel like you could get through the day, you know what I mean? And then when grandma passed, it was just like, eh. But like for kids, for when you're really young, you kind of still feel that energy. You like, man, grandma's still here. You know what I'm saying? Grandma's still right here, actually. You know what I'm saying? Grandma just told me, like, you know what I'm saying? Grandma just told me I'm going to need to go take a nap and stop wilding. You know what I'm saying? Like that energy is still available if you understand, if you in that understanding. Like if you still want to accept that. But you know, a lot of people, they just like, yo, my people done passed on and they on. I can't really call on them for no more information in this life. You know what I mean? The life they brought into the world will continue through the power of the life and love. Exactly, Brian. Yo, Brian, it's funny that you say that too, because I was just watching Midnight Gospel, and like the dude's mom was saying that, like she said, you know, even though I die, my love for my child is still gonna be here for you. I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know how, but it's still gonna be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you know, a lot of people don't understand that even though your ancestors passed on, they still got energy. And I feel like ever since Nip then passed on, like every time I feel like I'm in a stupor or I get into a position where I'm stagnant, especially in the YouTube streets, like where I'm feeling like I might be a little stagnant, then I will get that Nip energy. It'll come through like, nah, man, let's just keep it pumping. Let's keep it going, you know? And me personally, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I definitely have some people that have passed on, but like for the most part, nobody very, very close, you know what I'm saying, has passed on, which is, you know, obviously a blessing. So it's difficult, but like when Nip passed and he, for the most part, he was close to me only because I was checking in with him at that time. You know what I'm saying? I just happened to be checking in with him. So he was close to me for that during that moment. And when he passed on, his energies was still available. So I just say all that just to say, like, you know, you just gotta, if you know, you just gotta look into yourself for a lot of, especially when you're feeling stagnant, especially when you're in these YouTube streets and you're trying to be a content creator, you know, just in real life, when you feeling like, you know what I mean? Why do I even want to just keep pushing? Like, I'm just going, especially during these days and times. I always like to say that during these days and times, we could sit around stagnant. You could sit around stagnant. You could sit around, you know, not on your regiment of your exercise or your medicine or whatever it is your regimen is throughout the day. You could sit around and not be on your regiment, but you always got to remember that it's the pressure that makes the diamond. It ain't all of that stagnation. It's not all that sitting around. It's not all of that fun time. Like, it's the pressure. It's the hard times. It's the struggle. You know what I'm saying? When I was a young guy, I used to be in tune with the struggle. The struggle, you know what I'm saying? I used to be a brother of. Like, the struggle, I was into the struggle. And it's like, you got to go through a little bit of some type of stress to be able to create a diamond in this reality, in this paradigm, in this prism. Like, you got to go through pressure to create that type of paradigm. So, you know, when you're creating, when you're a content creator, when you're doing what you're doing, you just got to remember it's the actual work that's going to create whatever it is you're looking to be, whatever it is you're looking to have, whatever your soul outcome is. It's the work that's going to create whatever it is. It's not your, you know, it's not your persona. It's not who you are that's going to create, you know what I'm saying, what it is you want. It's the work that you put in is going to create who you are. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And it's that. It ain't just like, you know what I mean, sitting in a cool swimming pool that creates a diamond or character for that matter. You know, in these days and times, you know what I'm saying, the swimming pool isn't where character is created. You know what I'm saying? The hot tub, you know what I'm saying, in the swimming pool is where you tell your jokes. You know what I'm saying? That's not where the jokes are created, though. You feel me? Like, that's not where the character is created. That's just where you get to play it out. You know what I mean? That's where you be fun guy. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get a hold of these concepts and understand these concepts, really talking to myself so I could begin to recreate in these YouTube streets, kind of jumpstart my battery, because my battery is full. Like I was telling Mac or Die, like the battery is full of energy. Like, it's got some energy. I got some creative juices flowing. It's just needs a jump start. You know what I mean? It just needs, it's just like, nah, I just been sitting for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, there's still some juice in there. It's just, the alternator is still good. It's just the battery needs a little bit of a charge. You know what I mean? That thing ain't even dead. It just needs a little bit of a charge, and then we'll be good to go. You know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, man, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. But yeah, just talking about creating, being in that creative space, and like I said, man, cool world, man. Like these YouTube streets, and really the thing about it is like these YouTube streets. When I say these YouTube streets, it's more the interwebs, but it's almost like these days you don't even need Google to search the interwebs if you locked into YouTube, because Google will tell you a thing, and Google will kind of define a thing, but YouTube will actually break down a thing, and YouTube will actually teach you how to do a thing, right? So it's like for some people, YouTube is the new Google. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could be in these interwebs, but realistically, you could just be right in YouTube and be in these YouTube streets, and it's a whole new universe. It's a cool world, especially if you're hopping in and out of these live streams. If you're creating your own live streams, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you walking in and out of nightclubs for some, you know what I'm saying, in some sorts. It's like you creating your own nightclub for people to come into, your own little speakeasy. You know what I mean? Like for Nelman, it would be more like a little speakeasy. Matter of fact, you can't just come in off the street. You got to go around the corner. You know what I mean? There's a couple dudes in the alley that look like, you know what I'm saying, look like felonious characters, but really they like guarding the spot. You know what I'm saying? You got to come to the back door and have a special knock. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Nailman giving it up, man. You can't just, matter of fact, you see the Nailman live and it's just like a regular old building, you know? But for those of you that know, Brian, you know what I'm saying? You know, you come in here, you getting some, you know what I mean? You might get some real interesting information, even though it looked just like one of them old buildings on the outside. You actually couldn't even get in from the outside. You had to go around the back. You know what I'm saying? Do a nice little rat-a-tat on the door. They look through the peephole at you, asked you for the password. You know what I mean? And the password itself was an ever-changing password that it's a riddle that always changes. You know what I'm saying? All of that. So that's how these YouTube streets are, man. You could go, you know what I mean, get a lot of information. But you know, it's like the main ave. It's like you're cruising the main avenue on the animated world. You know what I'm saying? Because this world ain't real. Although it doesn't look animated, you know what I'm saying? It's animated. Like I'm animated right now. Y'all seeing me? If you are not here with me right now, I'm animated. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really animated. And again, you realistically just was walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? You was chilling. Cartoon Matrix, for real. Altered Carbon. Cartoon Matrix 100. Animatrix. The Animatrix. Your phone ding. You're like, oh, YouTube streets. Oh, the Nelman Speakeasy is open. I'm already a member in there. We're finna slide to the Nelman Speakeasy. You know what I'm saying? The Nelman Speakeasy. And then, you know what I mean? And then now you here. But this is really what it is. It really is that. You know? And when you're into like different psychedelics, then that sort of thing, if you've dabbled in psychedelics at all in your life, you know what I'm saying, then you know it's not hard to really conceptualize these different streets and these different animations and these different things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even hard to conceptualize. Like, yeah. So why YouTube is a wild world full of wild information, and anything you can Google, you can YouTube and actually maybe see a video on, like without actually having to worry about Google filtering it. See, there you exactly 100%. So you already know. It's like all this stuff is just like, okay, your perception is a little different. Your perception. I've probably done about half my weight at this point. I ain't, you know, I'm getting there though. I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? But when you do those things, your perception is a little different about this world. You really come in, you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. So you already know what time it is. It's like, it's not hard to jump in and out of a cool world in a real world. Like, and it's not hard to see how YouTube could be an animated world like that. It's not even hard to see, especially right, it takes one to know one, right? It takes one to know one. Right, is hilarious. Hilarious. But yeah, you know, that's the only way I can get this deep. Like, you know what I mean? The only way I could jump into the swimming pool of reality and go a little deeper, get out the baby pool, you know what I mean? You know, it's like, how else I'm gonna do that? How else? You know what I mean? We all backstroking in the shallow pool, you know what I mean? Sometimes we gotta go deep. That's why you tune in, ain't it, B? That's why you tune in, right? So we could go a little deeper. So at least you could, you know what I mean, question this reality with somebody else. For real. 100%. Yeah. 100%, man. You can't, hey, listen, I ain't gonna let you go at this reality alone, man. All right. I know I'm only going every once a week, man, but I ain't gonna let you go at it alone, man. You know? I know it's tough sometimes, but just know that you listen, man. It's a weird reality, man, but you ain't in it alone, man. You know? But yeah. It's like when you really, what I was gonna say is I had got a while back. I got the VR goggles, right? I got the VR goggles, and I'm looking through the VR goggles, and then it was like YouTube, VR YouTube. So now I'm watching like YouTube videos in VR. So that right there is like that cool world. Like if there's a point where now you don't even got to go to your phone. Or if you don't want to go to your computer, you know what I mean? You just want to go to your VR and tap into YouTube now. Like, let me just watch Nelman on the VR goggles, right? And I'm gonna go full screen. So now it feels like I'm actually in the woods with Nelman right now. Okay, I play with your head. If you spend your time in the net matrix, has that falsehood become your reality? Nah, you know what? It's more like I'm feeling like we can be like the key maker. You know what I mean? You can like the fact that YouTube is allowing you to create your own reality. Like I guess some people it becomes a reality, but if you understand that YouTube allows you at this point to make your own reality. You know what I mean? If you are a content creator, you see what I'm saying? Like if you understand how to create the content, you can create the reality and have a million episodes of that reality if you want. Or you can decide to make this falsehood your reality. But I feel like if you create the reality, then you're living in a different reality. Like I feel like you can create a reality, right? You could create a world and you could maybe even have an avatar in that world that you created, right? And you know what I'm saying? I guess tonight is the dive deep night. I guess tonight is the dive deep night. But yeah, let me see something. Hold on. Let's see. Said many become disconnected from the physical world and become to find their identity in a fake space. Yeah, absolutely. And but it says think what happens when the power goes out and the net goes down. How many people can deal with real survival? 100%. I mean, a lot of those people right now are already in a tough reality, in a tough situation because of the fact that they can't even get out. Like the powers that be told them they got to stay in. They staying in and losing their mind. You know? So that is very interesting. That is very interesting. That is very interesting, but yeah, absolutely, 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 definitely see where you're headed. Because yeah, I mean, you already seen a small glimpse of it. You already seen a small glimpse of it, and that's and those are the same people. Those are probably the same people who ain't never actually read a book, only been hearing audiobooks their whole life too. Like it's probably the same people who never read a book and read a full, like, you know what I mean, 20 chapters or something and heard their own voice in their head telling the story and then was able to chop that up and then go into a full, you know, a full blown movie in their brain, but still be reading a book. Like that right there, that part of your brain, that part of a lot of people's brains is missing or atrophied, I guess you could say, because they haven't been using it since they've been born. They don't know how to use it. They haven't had to use it. And so because of that, it's just like any other muscle, it's really weak. And then what substitute for that is a different view, the audio and the visual out of your brain and ears, and you being able to see all this, that actually is doing a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, is deep. They have isolated us and forced us into a media reality, thereby the mass control everyone through fears and lies. Exactly. But if you know what I mean, like, but I feel like you can almost even like keep yourself from diving too deep. You just got to do certain things. Like you got to read a regular book every now and again. You know what I mean? You got to go out and hike a little bit every now and again. You got to go out and, you know what I'm saying, breathe some real air every now and again. You got to, you know what I mean? Because if you only doing what they talking about on TV, you only chewing bubble gum and, you know what I mean, doing all this silly stuff. Yeah, you're going to be like, when the lights go out, you're going to be, whew, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for you. But if you've been doing some stuff like we used to do, you know what I mean, late 80s, at least, I'll just say late 80s. Before the late 80s, you know what I mean, if you was doing some activities that you ain't had no choice but to do, you know what I'm saying, you might be all right. You might. You might be. You know what I mean? Pin themselves in with words. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, and that's one of the main reasons why Nelman, for the most part, during the Nelman show, I pretty much stay on the surface. You know, I try to stay on the surface, and we just partying in the Nelman show, man. We just out here having a good time. We just having a good time on the Nelman show, you know. But understand that, you know what I'm saying, there are some things going on in this reality, and I may or may not be fully in tune with it. You know, I may just because I'm playing Charles on TV don't mean I'm not Scott Baio. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm playing Charles in charge. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean I'm not Scott Baio in real life. You know? They have chased us all in and now are cataloging the obedient and the rebel. That's deep, actually. That's actually pretty deep. Brian, you seen that Westworld? Matter of fact, that's interesting. You watched that Westworld, Brian? Because that's kind of exactly what they was touching on in that Westworld right there. You know what I'm saying? The outliers is what they were calling them, I think. The outliers. Yeah, that was actually pretty deep, man. Yeah. But yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down, Brian, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you tuning in today, man. Appreciate you tuning in because I know you could be anywhere on earth, man. But you tuned into the Nelman Show, you know. And Nelman just decided he was gonna have to die. It was actually Mac or Die though, man. Shout out to Mac or Die, man. He had me over here actually going deep because you know what I'm saying, I ain't seen that brother in a minute, man. I ain't seen that brother, you know what I'm saying? I ain't seen him in a minute. And I had a couple questions for him. I know he working though. He's a hard-working brother, so he be in and out. He got things to do, but yeah, he got me going deep like this. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I'm saying? I normally don't even, when I jump in the pool, I normally only go to where my head go. Like that's like 5'9". Y'all got me going to like, man, like I'm like 10 feet deep right now, man. Let me get out the deep end before they figure out I can swim. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Y'all, but that, man, other than that, how's the week been going, man? You know what I'm saying? It's Friday. Is it Friday? It's Friday. We'd have made it. In the last 2 months, I got email never got before from Google Maps. It told how many miles, 901, how many cities, 9, how many stops, how many hours. Like that you've been in? The places you've been going? Holy moly macaroni. They told you that you have been going, dang, that's crazy. They told you you was in 9 cities. They let me know that they know I ain't complying. Holy, like during the corn twizzle. Dang. They like, yo, fam, you all over Google Maps right now. You know what I mean? You all over the maps right now, man. Dang, B. You linked in. Well, if they on you, they already on the Nailman feed. And then listen, man, I'm all right. I'm all right with that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Gonzo Radio right here, man. It's Gonzo. We gone Gonzo right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start renaming stuff on YouTube, man. We're going to call this Gonzo Radio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. And you know what else? I ain't took that phone no damn where. No, I'm playing. I ain't been nowhere. I ain't been nowhere, YouTube. Google. I ain't been nowhere. Oh, hilarious. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, even when your phone is off. Exactly. Oh boy, that was funny. That was just a little jokey joke for that was just a little Google joke. You know what I mean? All right, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry, Google. You know what I'm saying? I keep my cyborg machine on me at all times, man. Y'all ain't gotta worry, man. It's 1984 right here, man. Y'all ain't gotta worry, man. I got it on me, man. I got it on me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been telling friends, leave for real. You don't need it. What you need it for? What you need it for real? What you need it for? Everybody, you know what the thing is? Everybody's scared of now in these days and age. They got like the whole, I'm going to catch something on camera, America's Funniest Home Videos, all of that stuff. Like they was gearing up for that. Like now everybody cannot be without their phone because they scared they go miss something that they could have recorded on their phone. That's the whole concept. Like now you got to have a phone on you just in case you could catch something is what they want you to think. Like now you fully tuned just in case, you know what I'm saying? So you could catch something. So you don't miss nothing. You don't want to miss nothing, do you? know what I'm saying? You don't want to miss nothing, do you? Make sure you got your phone with you. That's what I've been telling. Yeah. So you can put real memory into the fake world, man. Brian, let's talk about pancakes, man. Let's talk about breakfast cereals, man, because you finna get us knocked, man. You finna have you finna have the agents out my door in no time, man. You finna have Agent Smith over here knocking. I mean, oh, oh boy, look, that's hilarious. Really? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about French toast, man. Why is it called French toast? You know what I mean? Is it because of the cinnamon? You know what I'm saying? Is it because of the egg or the cinnamon that they call it French toast, man? What? Let's talk about breakfast dishes right now, man. What are we, you know what I mean? Like, man, you know what I'm saying? We all gonna get a knock at the door, you know what I mean? For real. We got to get out of this YouTube algorithm immediately. Y'all already said some false flag words, man. Goodness, man. Hey, he said my French buddy calls it an abomination. That's hilarious. That's a good one, actually. That's a good one. You know what I'm saying? Well, for real. Hilarious. Y'all funny though, man. But yo, man, this was a good one, man. We already been live an hour. I spent like 20 minutes of this by myself, you know what I'm saying? Just twiddling fingers, trying to figure my life out. But you know what? That's kind of like my life and all that. You know what I mean? And now I got some people with me. That's funny. Man. But shout out to y'all though. Shout out to y'all though, man. For real. Yo, Brian, matter of fact, I know you be with the skits. There's a show that Colo was actually informing me about. It was called Devs. I think it's on Hulu. Have you heard of that? Devs? I believe they was going deep. Hey man, more power to you. More power to the bowl. You know what I'm saying? I need to burn a bowl of cereal. It's almond milk. Yeah, no. I don't have Hulu either, man. You know, I don't have Hulu either. I'm just wondering if you heard of it. That's all I'm wondering is if you heard of it. But I guess they're going in pretty deep about some things in that show. I haven't actually seen it myself, but I might check it out. And I don't have Hulu either, but allegedly, there's this thing called the Fire Stick, and as long as you have internet, somehow they're saying that you can like get shows on a Fire Stick. I don't know how. That's why I said alleged. I don't even think that's a real thing. But if it is, then they probably got that show on there. Devs. All right. The DEV, which is an acronym. DEVS is an acronym. Yeah. I'll look into it. I'll look in. Is Hulu like Netflix in the sense that they put out the whole season straight away, or do they got like you got to keep tuning in? Like, is the first season already out? Is the first season already out? Fire Stick real, but not sure if that one. Yeah, Hulu tied to ABC. Well, the Fire Stick, if you can get your Fire Stick pumping the right way, Hulu plays the day after the network or the Fire Stick, because the Fire Stick allegedly, the Fire Stick actually will play maybe before the network airs it. The Fire Stick, oh, okay, Hulu, yes, Hulu, yeah. They'll play it the day after, but, oh, okay, I got you. So it's not like the whole season broke down. I got you. I hear what you're saying. You was answering my question. I didn't understand that. I got you. That's dope, though. But, so if that show Devs is already like, the whole season is done, I'd rather, binge it than like have to break it down day after day. So if it's a new show, I might have to wait for it. But if it's a show that's already done, then I might could rock with that. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all tuning in, though, man. Another thing I was going to ask, though, Brian, so Brian, have you seen the Westworld, or you haven't seen Westworld either? That one's on actually HBO. Are you into the Westworld? Oh, nice. Okay. See, you talking about Hulu like you got Hulu or something. You over here telling me the whole scoop, the whole schooloo. Talking about I don't even got Hulu. Yo, Brian, man, you gotta get with that Westworld, man. You gonna really be like, okay, they talking to me. Because you said you already talking about some things that this world is doing. And they basically depicted all of that on Westworld. So man, I would suggest you go ahead and check out that Westworld. Make sure you watch that Westworld. And Colo just said Devs again. Colo just said Devs again. But if it is already a whole season out, depending, I probably could go ahead and just grab that. Yeah, man. But what I was going to say is, because the thing about it is right now, especially in 2020, because it is the age of, it's funny. I don't know if this is like, a lot of different times they be trying to coin the time. And I don't know if 2020 is the age of understanding or the age of engagement or like the age of enlightenment. I don't know what 2020 is, but it is one of those. It's a new age right now. We are actually in the epoch of a new age. And so it's the age of some type of understanding. Like it's the type of understanding where like we're getting information that we may or may not be privy to, we may or may not be supposed to be getting, or we may or may not be allowed to be getting, but we're getting it in 2020. Got to fix some food. Think I gave myself the munchies. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Fix it up, my friend. But we are in a very interesting time right now, in a time where we are getting some information that, we may or may not know what to do with. But we are getting some very new information, some keen information that the public hasn't gotten. I won't say ever, but that we haven't gotten in a long time. You know what I'm saying? But just because we're later on in the universe doesn't mean that we're smarter on in the universe. As a matter of fact, if you know anything, we are probably a lot dumber than we've ever been. But we are in 2020, we are receiving some new information, some downloads, and in 2020, you know what I'm saying, we are receiving some additional information. And you know what? The funnier thing about it is we may have always been receiving this information, but some people just was like, you know what I mean? Only some people were getting it and they were giving it out to the masses. And the masses decided they either were going to believe it and roll with everybody or not believe it and call it conspiracy theory. But now we're starting to experience some things. We're starting to see some things. Things are starting to happen in this reality that we hadn't seen before, including this corona thing. Like this isn't actually new, where they keeping everybody in the house and they making everybody wear masks and all of that. This actually isn't even new. It just hasn't happened while we was around. You know what I mean? Like, so to us, it's new. But the last time this popped off, there was masks available. There was the mask, and when people were outside, they had to wear the mask. I seen pictures of Colorado of during, like, in 1918, when the last crazy situation like this happened, and people had to wear, like, masks and all of that. So this ain't even the first time that this has happened in your city. In the last 100 years type. And the 100 years is like, even though it seems like a long time, man, it's not even that long. So it's like, we just running into some information. We just running into some intelligentsia that we haven't seen in a while. That's all that is. And because of the fact that we already so dumbed down in this day and age, it's tough for us to deal with something as simple as a airborne sickness. 90s was bird flu, exactly. You know what I'm saying? 90s was bird. You feel me? But you picking up what I'm putting down. In this day and age, it's like, man, you know what I mean? Because everything is so symbolic, everything is turning back, which is weird. I'm actually talking right now, but everything is going back. But even though the bird flu and the SARS, though, I'm talking about to this extreme. I'm just talking about to this extreme where they got everything closed down, where the streets is looking empty, all of these things. And like you said, there is a bigger agenda. And the last time this bigger agenda popped off, you know what I mean? They had the streets clear. They had folks wearing masks. Like this happened, but even this big agenda, like even the big agenda play has happened before. You know what I'm saying? It's just because of we're at a point where we didn't got the people willing more than ever to believe the big agenda is easier. I wouldn't say it's easy because folks is still rebelling out here. Folks is still trying to push it to the limit. But it's easier to have folks sit in that house. It's easier to have people cooling out than it would have been like 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. Because in the 2000s or with the bird flu, like, sure, if we ain't have the internet, man, you think people is wilding out right now not wanting to stay in. If we ain't have the internet, everybody would be out and you wouldn't even know about it. Except for Ted Koppel. When Ted Koppel was telling you about it, like, World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, outrage in Miami where kids do not want to stay in the house. More on that at 11. It's like, that's the only time you hear about it. And it's like, oh, and they ain't staying in Miami? I ain't staying in over here in California then. Forget that. Oh, they outside in Miami? Well, I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? If they outside, I'm outside. That's how you would hear about it when you know what I'm saying, Peter Jennings would report on it. But now with the internet and all of that, it's like, man, oh, wait a minute. They ain't staying in down the street? I ain't staying in down the street then. Man, forget that. Matter of fact, I'm about to go link up with the people down the street. And we finna have a party at the beach. Never mind what's going on in Cali. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? In this day and age, you can really get right to it and see your brethren them. And then you like nobody's agreeing with nothing. Nobody in your city is agreeing with it. Nobody in your, you know what I'm saying, in your cooking club, which is actually all the way around the country, is agreeing with it. And then you see that no one around the world is agreeing with it. You couldn't see that in the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't really see that in like 201. You know what I'm saying? Only thing you could do was go on eBay and download some good stuff. You couldn't really see what the world was doing like that in 2001. It says SARS sounds funny. SARS sounds like Sears. I bet it didn't feel funny if you had it though. Because I heard that SARS is a lot like what they're dealing right now with that you know what I'm saying, this area all on fire and all of that. You know what I'm saying, feeling like you in Mount Everest. I bet it don't feel funny in any way, shape, or form. Exactly. Like, yeah. Like what we got going on right now is like a couple driplets of SARS included in that. It's like, nah, you got a little bit of that in it. Really? See, that's interesting. That's interesting. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Why Walmart wasn't shut down when why they didn't have people lined up with masks on in the 2000s? Which again, and whenever SARS was going on, and I think I was alive around then. I think that was the 2000s. Whenever that was going on, man, they couldn't have kept me in the house. Are you kidding? Which is even more interesting because if you're saying it had a much higher death rate, yo, I was all in Walmart touching stuff. I was out, I was everywhere. Like I wasn't not out. And I was younger. And I was a kid. So I was all over the place. I was all over the place. That's interesting. That is interesting though. That is interesting though. He said because they weren't ready to lock it down though. It's interesting. No 5G yet. All right. He said, dude, think about in the whole world, including China and Russia, playing along the bigger than people realize. Yeah. If there's some, oh yeah. What that, and I think what that is, Brian, I think you already know what it is too, and I think Colo knows exactly what it is too because we were just talking about that. A worldwide currency, and I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? I think that is pretty much if everybody, if there's a big play going on, a worldwide play, it's a worldwide currency. That's the only play that's going on. Is to get a world currency going. That's the only, because that's the only reason why nations would be agreeing with one another. That's the only reason. Business. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know the deal. You already know. You already know. You already know. Or it's going to be free. But people going to come up with their own form of currency. They're going to find out their own type of currency. Bartering has already returned. I'll tell you what, I need to go ahead and get my piece going so I could be able to barter with folks. For real. Like, yo. Because this regular that's another thing about this whole thing is the regular 9 to 5 ain't gonna be popping that much no more. Like if you're gonna have to have a trade, you're gonna have to have something else popping. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to get something else popping. Whatever that is. Especially if you're one of these kids out here with no knowledge in your head. If you don't know how to apply turn knowledge into wisdom, then you might be in some trouble out these streets. Might be in just a little bit of trouble. Brian, do you have Netflix? Do you got Netflix, Brian? Oh, they going live. They going live. No Netflix. Well, there is a show. So I'll be watching. Sometimes I'll watch Joe Rogan on Netflix. I mean Netflix on YouTube. I'll watch some Joe Rogans. And there's a guy who's on Joe Rogan a lot of times. His name is Duncan Trussell. And I don't know if you've heard of him, but Duncan Trussell actually has a show on Netflix. And the show is called Midnight Gospel. It's an animated show, so you know they take you there. But basically, like the audio of the show is more or less just Duncan, because Duncan Trussell has his own show as well, and it's basically just interviews from Duncan's show on that show, Midnight Gospel. And yo, that's a good one, man. I think you'll like it. They dive pretty deep in that one. It might just be right up your alley, man. It might be right up your alley. You say you watched a bit of it? Oh, a bit of his stuff. Okay. Yeah, he dives deep. He dives pretty deep. But he's basically the voice of the main character in Midnight Gospel. And basically the majority of Midnight Gospel are his interviews. And they just talk about all kind of different stuff, man. It's like I said, it's a good show. It's a good show. And that most recent episode of Rick and Morty just came out, man. If you don't watch Rick and Morty, I think that is one of the best shows too, Brian. If you ain't seen your Rick and Morty, you gotta get up on that, man. Those Rick and Mortys are crazy. And that most recent episode, I always say this, but like Rick and Morty, they actually haven't even had a new episode in like months. But this most recent episode, man, it was a really good one. It's a really good one. Yeah. Duncan Trussell, I've seen him on Rogan. It's like one of Rogan's good friends, I think, because he's on there a lot. And they do dive deep. They dive deep. I'm interested in the dialogue between the two of them. I like their back and forth. Like they actually dive deep. And his show is all right. Like it is all right. Especially when you're in that realm. Like if you just recently chewed on some mushrooms or something and you want to go watch that one, that's not a bad show to watch while you know what I'm saying, while you're on one, while you're on a few grams, while you're on a heroic dose or two. You know what I mean? You see the Simpsons episode with the pandemic was followed by the murder wasps. It just happened for verbatim. I actually didn't. But people were talking about the Simpsons, and that's probably why that had just recently come up. How the Simpsons, they got some seers in there. They got some seers. Like they got some people tuned in. They got some people in the know in the Simpsons. Sun, a simulated sun. I ain't even gonna go any further than that, but I heard somebody call the Simpsons a sim son, a simulated son. And that actually blew my mind when I heard that, because of I already know what the Simpsons be doing to you, and the Homer thing, and yeah, man, it's deep. It gets deep. It definitely gets deep when you know what you know. But the funnier thing about the Simpsons is that before I was even conscious of what the Simpsons were doing, when me and Cola were back in high school, we used to have a thing, and this was a thing, okay, which is even more mind blowing. When we were in high school, we used to have a thing, and it was called Simpsons Trivia. And it was like, you really, in my high school, you almost like, or in my clique, we weren't even in a clique, but a Simpson, yeah, a loser kid, you a Simpson. Yeah, that's one way to look at it, yeah. Or a simulation, Simpson, SUN. Think about that. Think about that just for a minute. But while you're thinking about that, me and Wills, we used to, like, it was certain kids, and when it was like the basketball team, it was like just some of the kids we hung out with. And it was like, if you was with the cool kids, if you was in this particular clique, you had to know your Simpsons trivia. It was like you had to know. When you came to school, you was gonna get tested on some part. Like in the last episode, what was the apartment number of like we used to do what was called Simpsons trivia in high school before it was a board game, way before a board game. It was just a thing we used to do. Like, man, you don't know your Simpsons. You know what I'm saying? You don't know your Simpsons like you say you know your Simpsons. And it was like, we actually used to go in on that. Colo, if you listening right now, I know you remember that. Like, we used to go deep on Simpsons trivia. And this was like 20 years ago. This was like more than 20 years. This was like 20, 22, 23 years ago. But we used to, like, when you got to school, like, you had to know you had to be up on your Simpsons, up to the most. And if we wasn't even going trivia, we wasn't even going to give you something from the most recent episode. It was like you already had to, like, know Simpsons from Ep 1 up until last Sunday. You know what I'm saying? That was like how we was giving it up when we was kids. It was weird. It was just a weird dynamic. It's just a weird concept, but it's like, that's how you know, like, where I was brought up, it was different. Like the time frame when we was raised, and now only to go fast forward and to see what the Simpsons is doing in reality, like playing with reality right now. Like that's what we were doing when we were kids, and we weren't even the losers. Like we were actually the popular kids. Like if you ain't got your Simpsons knowledge up, don't even come over to this table. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got 2 girlfriends and your Simpsons knowledge up, man, you ain't even welcomed over here, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I got girl problems already, man. I got women problems, man. And I know my Simpsons trivia, man. So don't come over here if you ain't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was in high school, though. Yeah, Colo. You know what I'm saying? You remember that? Like, it was a group of people. Like, it wasn't just like 1 or 2 of us. It was a group. Like, you couldn't just come out like you was going to get tested. Like, hold on, let's go make sure he know. It was like a secret society of Simpsons trivia. And if you ain't know your Simpsons trivia, you ain't in. Like, yeah, Colo, you know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. You remember that. Like, you had to be up on your Simpsons. So Brian, what you talking about is another thing I'll be diving deep on. Is it art symbolizing reality, or is it reality symbolizing art? You know what I'm saying? Because that is a big thing. That is a big concept. It's like, is art imitating life, or is life imitating art? You know what I'm saying? When you see these things, and like that's the mind game. You know what I mean? It's like, is art imitating life, or is life imitating art? What came first? Was it the chicken, or was it the egg? And was the egg a picture that the chicken drew? You know what I'm saying? It's like, who did what, who created what. And then when you find out who created what, you know what I'm saying? Was it the baby that created the mom? You know? But yeah, The Simpsons was definitely diving deep in that aspect. But yeah, it's just crazy to think about how the Simpsons do create reality in a sense. And when I was a kid, I used to be tapped fully into the Simpsons. Like whoever created Simpsons trivia during that time in high school, I was the one of the co-creators of that. Like, yep. We do need to have Simpsons trivia. See, because they think they playing games and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They ain't with it. We need to figure out who's really with they Simpsons. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I was definitely one of the co-creators of that. So it's like it's very interesting because that's how we was giving it up in high school. Only to find out that 20 years later, the Simpsons are going to be able to depict reality out of their episodes. You know what I mean? So it is very interesting. Not only is that very interesting, but it's even more interesting that the Simpsons came out with the space show, Futurama. The Simpsons who predict the future. Next show was Futurama. Any more questions? Are there any more questions? Like, if you don't see that, then you know what I mean? There it is right there. And in Futurama, they love going back to the future. They love going back into the past, back up into the future, back into the past, back into the future. So just take the time to think about the Simpsons show that they made after The Simpsons. Not only that, I'll take you one step further. They came out with another show that's on Netflix right now, and it's called like Disenchantment or something. And it just talks about how fairy tales, how basically they're not living happily ever after. You know what I mean? So, yeah, shit. What is his name? Matt Groening? My man is on point. Babel. The Tower of Babel. You're talking about Babylon. He's talking about Babel right now. Happened because it said man will be able to do anything he can imagine. And that's done. That's done. Rest in peace to my main man, Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I seen Kobe transition in a helicopter plane crash accident, while he was still alive. I seen it animated on a show. I seen that. Rest in power to Kobe. Like, I had seen that and chalked it up to a joke. You know? And then it happened. You know? I'm just saying. Brian, I don't know why you got me diving deep today. Imagination is the egg that brings the fruit of the real world. You're talking about Brian talking about the Kabbalah right now, the Kabbalion. He's talking about that Kabbalion knowledge. You're talking about manifesting thoughts into reality. I see what you're talking about. Listen, Brian, listen, man. You can hold your nose and go as deep as you want, man. You ain't going, I'm going, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming down there with you, man. I'm coming right down there with you, bro. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never got to think if you alone in this universe again, man. Man, we coming with you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming with you, man. You diving, you know what I'm saying? Hold your nose, because I'm coming with you. So the media world is the imagination or the magic spell creating a future. That's interesting. And so before that, are you saying it was radio? before it was this TV and media and the computer world? Are you saying before that was radio? And when that alienation popped off, you know what I'm saying, when he was talking about how there was aliens in the street on that radio, y'all remember that? War of the Worlds? Was that H.G. Wells? Oh, books before that. Okay. Y'all remember that? Remember the War of the Worlds? When he started talking about how aliens had landed and all that? Was that the COVID? Was that Corona like of the day? When he's like, yo, listen, man, the aliens just landed, man. Listen, man, they coming out. They looking like, oh no, stay in the house. They coming out. Like my man had people jumping out windows and killing themselves and all of that. Was that the dawn of a new future? When they did that World of the Worlds multicast on the radio, was that the dawn of a whole new future when he did that? Was that like the dawn of a new like spark of the imagination? Like before he did that, was it hard to conceptualize going further in the imagination? And then once he sparked the brain, and then it was like, oh no, I'm just kidding, y'all. There wasn't nobody outside. Y'all thought that? Yeah, gotcha. It was like, oh, whoa. Okay, he did that. Did that like turn on a light in a piece of the brain that was dormant before that? Like how they say there's DNA that's not, you know what I mean? That there's dormant DNA in us and it ain't been sparked yet because maybe somebody hasn't sparked it yet. So like I just asked then, Brian, like you, then I ask again, was that the COVID of the day? Was that the Corona of the day? Now you see where I'm going. Was that not the COVID of the day? See, man, where we at? An hour and 30, man. I'm gonna have to get out this thing, man. I got me diving too deep right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I try to come up for air. You know what I'm saying? I try to come up for air. You know what I'm saying? This right here is gonna be what kicks the nail man off, man. Y'all gonna have me diving deep on my comment, man. I'm about to stop being fun, happy-go-lucky now, man. Y'all gonna have me being dive deep now, man. You know what I'm saying? Our leaders have always stayed in power by taking advantage of natural catastrophe. Is it natural, though? That's another question. You say natural catastrophe. Is that just how they have bottled it as natural catastrophe? Is that just how they labeled it? Is it natural or is it propagated catastrophe? All right. I'm not even saying it's not catastrophe, but I'm just saying, is it natural? Like, is natural the word to put before it? But scripture says that our morality controls the catastrophe. Okay. Yeah, dive deep, Brian. But then I question that. How much morality is left on this realm? How and do they know that they've been sucked all of the morality out of this realm? They know that there's very little morality left. So it's tough. You know, because of the fact that there's a lot of morality been sucked out of this thing. A lot of that been taken away. These newer generations don't subscribe to morality, you know? Having morals, like I'm just going to take it into the, you know, a couple different realms. Like having morals used to be like, you know what I mean? You used to couldn't tell. You used to couldn't snitch. Now in 2020, it don't even matter if you were a snitch or whatever. no morals. No moral. They didn't suck the morals out of the culture. Any culture, whatever culture it was, they didn't suck all morality out of the culture so that they can do whatever it is they want to do, because there's no morals. They know and do it on purpose. When man loses faith, he loses freedom and nature goes crazy. Dive deep, Brian. Dive deep, man. I appreciate you tuning in today, man. You know what I mean? That's why we in nature today, man. That's why the Nelman in nature today, man. I brought my chair all the way out here to the foothills, man. So I could, you know what I'm saying? So I could dig a tunnel with y'all, man. So I could, you know what I mean, dig a brain tunnel with y'all today, man. Shout out to y'all for tuning in, man. We got an hour and 42 minutes, man. I ain't gonna be on here too much longer tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be back. I'll be back. Appreciate you tuning in with me too today, Brian. Will's World. You know what I'm saying? Mag, I see you. Y'all could be anywhere y'all in this realm. You know what I mean? Y'all tune into the Nailman tonight. So I appreciate that. All right, let me go ahead and climb up out that thing. It ain't even a deep hole though, Brian. I'm in water. You know what I'm saying? I don't dig in dirt. You know what I'm saying? So I could get out quick. I go deep in water, man. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? We sitting at the bottom of a Olympic-sized swimming pool right now, man. We ain't even in dirt. So I just come right out. You know what I mean? It's all good though. It's all good though. I hope, you know what I mean? Like minds though. I hope, you know what I mean? I hope I was able to give y'all a little bit of jewels today, man. I hope I was able to give y'all a little something to remind y'all, man. Remind everybody that y'all ain't alone. We ain't alone in this thing. It's a huge universe. You know what I mean? It's a huge universe. You know what I mean? But y'all ain't alone in this thing, man. Nailman right with y'all, man. Them crazy thoughts that y'all be thinking throughout the week, man. I know I'm only here once a week. Them crazy thoughts that y'all be thinking throughout the week, man. I'm here to affirm that that's it ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here with y'all, man. You ain't dreaming. You know what I'm saying? You awake. You alive in this thing. You know what I'm saying? And Nelman right here with y'all, man, tuned in, man. Real talk. But yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go on an hour 45. I'm gonna let it go to an hour 47. I'm gonna tap on out of this thing. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all played the lottery. Make sure y'all playing y'all numbers. You know what I'm saying? All of the things. It's about making this thing your reality. And all the extras from outside our atmosphere coming back. Yeah, man. Helping you to remember. You know what I'm saying? Helping you to remember why you actually came to this realm. You know what I'm saying? Last time. Helping you to remember what you was wanting to remember when you came back to this thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? All that information. You starting to get all that information and starting to get all that, get everything that you forgot. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to remember. You're starting to get those friends that, you know what I mean? You was wondering where they was at and all of that. That's what this 2020 is all about, man. Everything coming back. But it's like, because everything is coming back, also the powers that be is going to kind of try to keep the information to be blocked. So y'all got to be ready for that too. You know what I mean? Just stay in tune. Stay in tune, man. If y'all ain't already, man, make sure y'all give this one a thumbs up, man. Y'all appreciated this thing, man. Y'all got some good information from this thing, man. Give it a thumbs up, man. I'm saying we out in the woods today. I'm chewing on trees. You know what I mean? We're chewing on trees today. Finna roll one of these jokers up, though. Real talk. But yeah. You know what I'm saying? Have a good night, too, Brian, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Colo, we'll holla at you, bruh. Yeah, y'all have a good night, man. We're going to end this thing on a positive note, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. It's been another Nelman Live, man. Peace.